From formation to taxation, covering inflation, temptation, high expectations, and that dreaded stagnation, we bring to you Hip Nation.
That it was called the O's, like the O's, because on the sign, they have a vertical sign. So it's like stacked letters. So T and then an H and then an E under that. And then there's, I don't know if the O is bigger or there's a bit of a space or something, then it's apostrophe S. So he always thought it was the O's.
It's like a cereal restaurant.
Like the O's.
Do they make donuts there?
And he said it like
donuts.
a number of times, but he's also from the East Coast. So I was like, oh, maybe it's just his accent. And then one time I'm like,
oh, he's going to Theo's?
You know it's Theo's, right? It was
no.
one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
That must have been a great day for him to realize that it was not called Theo's.
Yeah. He probably felt like, oh, shit. He probably had conversations about it.
Too. It was like Theo's. Like
It's a great, we only actually ate there for the first time last year.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
what a fantastic place.
I wasn't that far ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like
flaming
it's such a
beautiful
thing.
Space. Oh, the Saganaki.
Oh my God.
I think that was one of the first videos that we did because I was like, what do I got to highlight? And I saw that and I was like, we're doing a video on that alone.
Absolutely.
And like with Greg, he was just like, I don't even know. Like, yeah, let's do it. And I've been telling him like and showing him how we can really promote Theo's. And he's like, yeah, awesome. Let's do it. So it's been fun having a client that's so open and welcoming to everything that I'm doing now, which has been awesome because it's not a client that doubts me and my ability to create. So it's been fun to just create.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. It's an important lesson for people listening who hire photographers and I was thinking this while you guys were talking about weddings is like, if you're hiring a photographer, it should be because you like their work, not because someone else told you to go to them.
Yeah.
Or, recommendations are great too, but you should look into their work and see their style and whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was thinking, like, if this was my wedding and I hired you to do my photography, I'm trusting that you're just going to do your thing. Right? I'm not going to be like breathing down your fucking neck and saying, get that shot and get that shot.
You'd be surprised how many people do.
I know. I'm just saying me personally and like not just for weddings, but like I give Jenny products from time to time and say, here, can you take pictures? Yeah. And she'll be like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know, figure it out. Do your thing, right?
Yeah.
Be creative. And
Well, I like that when you tell me to have fun with it and just do whatever. Yeah. Like, what do you do when you have somebody when you have creative differences, right? Like, that's a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you navigate that?
Gently.
Yeah, gently.
Or sometimes aggressively.
Yeah.
Because I've told them, like, man, like, your branding sucks. Like, that, it does not engage. It's not interesting.
I wish I could say that to some people.
You should.
No,
you should.
I can't.
Be like, send me your vectors, idiot. Be like, I don't want your JPEGs. Get that trash out of here. Oh, can you send it to me in a more condensed file? That'd be great.
You watch my reels, don't you?
No. So my friend Kelsey is, she was my graphic designer at my old job. And I would just see her stew hard off of things when all she's like, oh, can you send me the vectors? And they're like, yeah. And then like you can see them like whisper to their partner, like, what the fuck is a vector?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God. And she just sits there and ready to kill.
Dare I call out Jenny?
Yeah, to kill something.
I'm like, she said that to me one time and I went, isn't that a cereal? I fucking used to love Vector.
Vector is a cereal, but it's also a very important, crucial part of design. That, okay, if you're wanting to make your logo, have your vectors like ready so that if you're going to send it to somebody that is going to design or change anything, that they can manipulate the layers and adjust if need be.
Right.
Because it's easier for everybody and it's better for you in the end.
You know what? I can't tell you how many times I ask for vector files and people save their JPEG as a PDF or as an EPS or whatever. I'm like, that's not even close to what I asked for, but
Don't do your best, do my best.
I try to do like an education piece, but like having to explain what a vector file is 100 times in a day gets really old.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to.
It's just people don't know, you know?
Yeah, no, it's right.
It's like, it's hard to bring awareness to things that people don't know.
I should start like a vector file awareness
Could
program.
You should. You know how many
be like a
graphic designers will
nonprofit.
probably be like, finally,
I fund that.
we have a vector messiah. Show them the way. Part the Red Seas for these people. You should like show a picture of Moses, like part of the Red Sea, and it just says JPEGs on each side, and in the middle says vector.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
You
love
should.
it.
Yeah,
You could do that.
And then it's just like on the back, just like graphically hip on the back of Moses there. That'd
We
be
could
great.
like have signs on the side of the streets, like with like a circle with a cross through a JPEG.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd like to see that. I'm all for it. But like honestly, we shouldn't be scared to be honest to a client.
Right.
If something is going to help them, it's not bad to be honest with what would help.
Just choose
If-
your words.
If they don't accept it, then you can explain to them that this is like for their better well-being. And I know I've put my foot in my mouth more than once, but in the long run, it's for their own good. It's not for my good. This is
And if you truly believe in what you do, that's your name attached to something. So it's like, do I really
Yeah.
want something shitty being put out there if I want to get another job down the road?
yeah,
Right.
and like it's
That's true.
not going to be like to shoot myself in the foot. I never want to do that. But it's
Yeah.
like if I suggest something, it is just a suggestion. But I'm not going to say, you know, like, oh, I'm going to shoot this in JPEG because I don't want to take up space on my camera shooting raw.
Right, yeah.
Man, that's just like that's taking away so much possibility for me in the back end to edit. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing with them doing like their logo. It's like, are you going to put this on something, or are you just going to put it on like your iPhone?
Right.
Yeah.
Be like, you want this to be able to be blown up onto your wall, or you want this to be, you know, like really sharp on your email.
Right.
It's
What are you
like this
editing
is
for?
all
Yeah.
going to be used on multiple things. So like, why not do it the best of your ability?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody put a filter on your work?
Oh yeah.
What do you do with that?
I just
You just gently send a reminder that it's part of it says in your contract.
I even just get pissed off when people don't even tag me in
Yeah.
like some photos when I send them. I'm
Tag
like,
your photographer. Don't be a dick.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
I'm like,
PSA.
Yeah.
I'm a nice person, I think, and I don't like get mad as much as I should.
Yeah.
But it kills me a little bit inside
Yeah.
when people
Yeah.
like don't tag me and I see like my photos being used all the time, and I'm like, that's a nice photo. Like I'll comment angrily.
Sometimes
That's nice.
Almost breaking my like glass on my iPhone. That's a nice photo. Grinding
see the
my
faces
teeth,
he's making
grinding
right
my
now.
teeth so
Dot,
Your
hard.
dot.
photographer, shout them out. It helps
like,
us.
You sons of bitches.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the minimum thing that you can do.
Yeah.
It's a minimum thing to do.
Yeah.
It's
And I
just like
think-
give a shout out.
In any artist situation, like you guys are artists, I'm an artist. When people post their new logos and they're like, "Oh, look, it's our new logo." Yeah. I spent like 8 hours building that logo for you and got 0 shout out. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did I shout you out
Same
for
thing.
putting balls on that T-shirt for me?
I don't
Thank
know.
you for my bachelorette party T-shirts, by the way.
You're gonna give her.
They were awesome,
I didn't
weren't
know
they?
until just
Flowers,
like
yeah.
yesterday that you made those shirts.
Those were Keish's idea.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
the shirts that got
awesome.
made for my bachelor party said, "What same fingers forever?"
Oh, I saw it. I saw
Did
it. Oh yeah. I watched all those stories. I was like, this is hilarious.
Fucking male
I was like, this is
I'm still getting my
ridiculous.
voice back. I was worried about it today until about noon today, and then I started getting it back when I got here.
I
Thanks to
guess
the
you
nudes.
started bringing
The
it back with
nudes.
the old alcohol.
Fuck. It's hard though when you
Mm.
like. But because you do so many different things, do you find it hard to make sure that you have a specific brand that you're doing? Like you know how you're doing branding for everybody else and keeping it, but you're doing so many different people's stuff. You don't have a specific brand.
Oh my god, I don't.
No,
I
neither
don't-
do I.
don't
And
think
people are like, you
my
need to
own
have a brand and you need to have a look and you need, but it's like, no, I'm actually going for whatever they want to a certain extent.
Yeah, like my work is so many other people's work.
Right. Yeah.
I've really wanted to get back into like myself and like start creating for myself, but
Find that time.
yeah, it's finding that time, but also it's like I really want, if I was going to do that, like I really want to invest into myself and almost, I don't want to half-ass it.
Right.
And if I'm going to work for myself to like really create that, I want to go like into the deep end. I don't want to like just dip my toe.
Right. So when you're doing like the stuff for work, because I know when I'm doing stuff, I know that when I go back to doing boudoir, I've done corporate stuff, I've done branding and everything like that. But when I go back to boudoir, that's when I feel like I'm happiest and I'm in my element, and that's when I'm doing art. So do you have anything like that when you're shooting, because you do so many different things, anything that's technically your job, but that still lights a fire in you, even though it's your job? Which one of those would you say?
Oh my God. I still think all of it does.
Yeah.
Like,
It depends, right?
Even like if I know like an idea that I'm going to do for a video, I know it's already in my head. Like I can see it, and like this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then doing it, even like it has like its stressful moments, it's still like so much fun to create and then see other people enjoy it too. So it's nice to just sit back and look at it afterwards. Like I even had one client go back and watch everything that I made for them. And they're like, we've done so much awesome stuff. And like, it all looks so good. And it's all like, it still like really resonates for them. And they're like, I loved watching everything. It just felt like we just did it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I haven't gone back and watched my own stuff. And then I did and watched everything. And I was like, man, it's like, we've done so much stuff. And then I was like, I look at my social and I was like, I haven't posted any of this stuff.
I'm too busy doing shit for everybody else.
And like I just finished a big project with Destination BC and Visit Penticton. And it was like 6 months of shooting. And they finally have decided all their photos now. So now I have like so many extra photos that I'm going to start sharing. And they're all like beautiful stuff that really promotes Penticton, because like I love this town and it's so nice to showcase all the beautiful things about it and like why I love living in the Okanagan, being in the Okanagan. So I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot of those photos now.
Cool. I can't wait to see those.
Yeah, it's rad. Yeah. And it's showing like the light of Vancouver for like showing like this diversity and supporting like the gay community. And then also like we did like a shoot to showcase handicap accessibility within the town too. So it was all these different locations that were wheelchair accessible, and it was just like it's stuff I never know. Like that's the interesting thing is doing what I'm doing now. It's like I never know what's gonna happen,
right?
Or what I'm gonna shoot until I meet somebody and I'm like, okay, like what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love all of it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not, there's not like a specific thing I love more. Like, of course, I love shooting like boudoir stuff, and I love shooting food because I get to eat it. And then like shooting models like in beautiful locations and going out to like all these places. And unless it's like super cold or I'm injured, which really sucks. I hurt my knee recently, and then I was like in the middle of a shoot.
The last time we met for beers, I think you were limping.
Oh man,
you were limping when we went to the cannery. I think it was.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was really bad at that time. I tore my meniscus in my knee, and I was shooting up at Apex, and I was walking in the snow, and they had this like really crappy staircase carved into the snow, but it was kind of partially melted. And I went to take a step down and my knee just twisted and I fell. And I had my camera in my hand too. And I like do like a tuck and roll and I'm on the ground and I see this guy like staring at me. And I'm like rolling over to like get up. Like I'm obviously hurt. And he's still just staring at me. And I look over at him. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm like, no.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. Thanks. Thanks.
Don't take one more breath.
I was like, no, thanks, dude.
I'm surprised he didn't get his camera out and take a video.
If he did that, I would have come right out.
So the camera was okay though.
The camera was okay.
Your camera was okay.
I'm good about the tuck and roll. But,
I've done so many things to save my fucking camera. Just like no.
And that was my new camera too. Like I think I've only had that thing for maybe like 2 months at that time. And it was scary. And then I limped for the rest of the day. Like I was really hurting for the rest of that shoot. And I even strapped my board on and to go like ride the slopes, and I was terrified.
No kidding.
I was like, oh God, I should not be doing this.
Just go at any minute.
I was.
You didn't take your camera up while you were riding though. You crazy son of a bitch.
Stupid. So stupid. But it was a lot of pain, but it was good times. Finished the shoot.
Nice.
And got some amazing photos and shot with some great people.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I'm really happy with it.
Do you manage other people's social medias and stuff? Or you just create?
I just create the content. I don't advertise that
shouldn't
I'll
say
do.
just.
Oh, that's fine. I don't advertise that I'll do. Now manage people's social media because that's a whole nother
So
Yeah.
do you get the managers tell you what they're looking for?
Yeah.
And then so you just make sure that you're meeting their vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Normally, my the way I work was all subscription based. So it's like you get enough for a month that you plan it out, and like this many photos you want, this how much video you want. Either do like batch shoots because we know what we want. So like let's just create it,
Yeah.
and then plan out your schedule, and so you know what you want. So then, if anything does happen, that you can adjust and make that space so that you're not trapped
Yeah. Yeah.
or handcuffed for a post. So no, I don't normally manage people's social media.
No, I just was wondering.
Yeah.
Because you don't post on your own social media very often, I find that's a trait of people who manage other people's social media.
But I do that for a
You
client.
do that.
Yes, I
Well,
do that for a
guess
client.
what? You
But
just
I don't-
advertised it.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah.
No comment. No
Yeah.
comment.
So forget one eye shut for managing your social media.
Yeah.
That is not a
it's
thing.
Like I can, but
not a
it's double the amount of work.
Yeah.
And,
Easily.
Sure. I don't. Yeah, there's some days I'll take weeks off of my own just because I'm just done. Done. You didn't watch my story, people will say. And I'm like, well, I didn't even look at even Lucy's.
Yeah.
Like,
People say that too.
yeah.
You didn't
Oh,
watch
I've literally
my
had
story?
friends say you haven't watched my story in a while, or you didn't like a post I did. Are we okay? And I'm like, I don't
you
watch
mad at
my
me?
mom's. I don't watch Lucy's. I'll watch yours because they're funny and stuff. But
So you're picking and choosing, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Did you hear that, Lucy? Lucy, did you hear that?
So much time to poop in the morning, so you gotta pick them carefully. What
Are you
you're
kidding
gonna
me?
watch.
Fucking
My
A.
legs are asleep by the time I get off the throne. I watch every person's story out there before I stand up.
I don't. I have candies to crush. I've got emails to send, and then a couple reels by Sarah to watch. It's
Yeah.
like I forget though, and even Lucy's like, "Did you watch my story today?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I go to the
Sure,
bathroom
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got pissed.
I do appreciate how much Lucy clowns you on her social.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's actually very
Shit.
entertaining.
Yeah, we get each other, but recently she's been on it a little more than I have.
No, it's
so.
been entertaining. I've been having a good couple chuckles from time to time, and I'm like, yeah, get
That's
her.
our goal
I
in
was like,
life.
"Ah,
Wait
get
till
her."
she sees what I have planned for the wedding.
I still think you're nuts for saying
nuts.
mild is more than medium.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
You want to get into
Let's
that?
get into
No, I
this.
don't want to get into it.
I do.
I don't
I
get
don't wanna
it.
get
I just
into it.
don't get it when
I'm
they
on Team
mean
Lucy.
Don't
they
wanna get
mean
into
the
it,
exact
but-
same
No, they
fucking
don't.
thing.
No,
Mild
it
and
doesn't.
medium mean the same thing.
No, they
Doesn't.
don't. Small,
I'm just
medium,
saying-
large.
I'm just saying, I saw it.
Yeah. Look at this. To me is mild and medium. Mild and medium are the same fucking thing.
No,
They mean the same thing.
no.
So what would you say mild should be called then? Low?
Just medium.
Weak.
Medium, and then hot?
Oh, okay. So like,
What should mild be called?
just not hot.
See, this is your dilemma.
Mild
It's
and then hot. Mild and medium.
Not
medium.
hot?
Not hot.
No. It's like medium
Well, like,
is
do
the
it on a
middle
number
of the
scale.
How
road,
about cold?
right?
Can you say cold?
Mild is the like opposite of
No
hot.
spice. Medium spice. Hot spice.
Yeah, so no spice is the
Scary
same
spice.
as mild.
Everything
Scary
should-
spice. Sporty spice. Baby spice. And ginger spice.
Is baby spice the low spice? No way. I loved baby spice.
I love baby spice.
I think scary
You know
should
what?
be the
I love
hottest
ginger
spice.
spice because I love redheads.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Shout out to fucking
There
Little
should
Mermaid.
be. Why
Just-
didn't the Spice Girls come out with a hot sauce? That is what baffles me.
Oh,
Or
Can
like
you
a
imagine
spice
that?
line.
Yeah.
You know?
Why the hell
Some
not?
smoked
they probably
paprika.
did. They probably did in Britain. You should ask Lucy.
Yeah.
They probably did.
Oh,
they
she was
had
Spice Girls.
spices?
Everything in her room was Spice Girls.
Yeah, I
you should
bet.
ask her to do that. What's that song? Stop right now.
Yeah.
She acts it out. Like her and
Really?
Keish, they
Yes.
will get together, they will get drunk, and they will act out the Spice Girls song, and then they'll do Bohemian Rhapsody together.
Nice.
And like they've taken away from drag queens at drag shows that we've gone to. Anyway,
good.
that's a whole other story.
I,
That is- yeah.
We won a lip sync competition,
Did
and
you?
I played Baby Spice. We did Wannabe, and we killed it.
Did you wear like the white dress? And
Oh yeah,
platform
oh yeah.
shoes? No
and I was
way.
wearing like bright green underwear too, with like this really low cut dress, and, I had
yeah.
a beehive blonde wig.
Nice.
And I remember this guy's face that was at the front of the stage, and I came up and was just like, "If you want to be my lover," and he's
I
just
wish
like,
this was in a
he
video
like looked,
too.
he looked away from me completely because it was like right here, and he was just like,
Oh God, he was about to get.
didn't even look at me at all. And
I
was just
love
like,
it.
If you want to be my lover,
He's about to get,
gotta get with
fucking
my
For people
teabag.
who can't
Teabag
see.
right in
Oh
the
my
front
God,
row.
it was hilarious. I'm just like whipping my dress up on the front.
Yes.
It was great. It was so
Nathan's
much
like
fun.
air humping right now,
Yeah,
just so
it was
you all,
great. It was
just so
great.
you all
It was so
know.
much fun. It was so much fun.
It's just teabagging the table right now.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun. I think we won that year, actually.
Speaking of winning, you won an award, right?
Yes,
What
yeah.
did you win?
I won the Keith Cutler Award for directing while I was at Capilano
Cool.
University, and that was for our final film project. We made a short and had a lot of trouble filming it as we did, and just because like things were happening. And by the end, the teachers decided to give me an award for directing
Cool.
because they enjoyed what I did.
No way.
Or something like that. I guess they didn't really say, but they enjoyed the video.
That must have been a huge honor then.
It was awesome. They gave me $500 for it, and I was like,
What'd
"Yeah,
you do
cool."
with that $500?
I don't know. I think I went to the bar.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I think I went to the bar like right away and was like, "Oh, cool. I should probably put
Drinks
this
are
on my
on me."
student loan, but my liver doesn't hurt right now, so let's go change that." And I just went to the bar and had like chicken wings and
Oh,
Fuck
fuck,
yeah.
I
a
love
ton
chicken
of like
Thought
Coronas
around.
or something like that. And
Yeah.
that's probably where it went.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
probably
How long
where
did
it
it take for you to do that project that you were working on that you got the award for?
I think that was a 2-day shoot.
Oh,
a 2 or 3 day shoot.
Okay. But you
That we
had a
did
lot
out
of
at
problems in
Langley?
it?
Yeah, we actually lost half a day of shooting because just the lighting didn't work
Okay.
for the scene and it just looked like shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we can reshoot this in this time.
Yeah.
Like the room is right there. We can shoot like these 2 scenes. All the equipment is going to be like right there. Let's just move it over. We'll shoot with less light to kind of make it like match up with how moody it is. And we'll just reshoot it like that.
Yeah.
Because everybody was freaking out that that scene didn't work. And I was like, okay, well, let's just we'll just reshoot it. Shut up. We'll get it done.
Yeah.
And if we stay an extra hour, we'll stay an extra hour. And I guess like the faculty or whatever and teachers at that time said like that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
And like you handled it right and
Do you still
managed
do
the
that?
crew
Do you
and
still keep a like if you're going to go over with time or things aren't going your way, are you okay with staying longer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's worth it because it's still your name attached to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So in the end, if you have to stay longer,
Yeah.
I dealt with that last night where the project went a little bit longer than was expected, but I knew that there was going to be some cool shots coming up
Hmm.
eventually, and I wanted to get those shots, so I was okay with staying an extra 45 minutes or whatever it was. But you just got to be able to go with the flow
it's a
of that.
part of the game.
Yeah.
Just stay till the job's done.
Mm-hmm.
But the more experience that I have now, I can anticipate those things going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to be able to have that. I don't know if it's like a sixth sense, but being aware of like those situations before they happen and how to work around it.
And just prepping yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And prepping beforehand, like I can't stress that enough to like vision what you want to do and do it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that was really important with film school. And they said that's like plan your shoot and shoot the plan. And it's like stick to your guns.
You're right.
It's like don't stray too far from what you want to do. It's like you'll get into the thing, you might get all caught up in the moment, and people will be like, "Oh, we should do this."
Yeah.
and it's like
yeah.
we can,
Yeah.
but let's do what we need to first.
Yeah.
and then we'll fuck around.
That's why you don't do weddings.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like
You and your
"Ooh,
cousin's family.
get
Stick
us
to the list.
Take a shot with our mimosas. Fuck.
You
off.
do a really good bridezilla
Fuck,
impression.
yeah.
You
Shoot
should.
my feet.
You should shoot
Show
a.
my shoes.
Yeah.
Look at my shoes. We're gonna shotgun beers right now.
The eyes are
Nudes.
closed.
They're shotgun and nudes.
Married. I'm getting married today. This is my wedding day. I'm like, I don't fucking care. You're gonna get divorced in a year.
Oh,
I'm about to go get a picture
You
of the
said it.
groom messing around with the
Yeah,
bridesmaid.
I'm pretty sure the bridesmaids and the groom right now. Anyway,
you should shoot some reels on Instagram with you doing those impressions. 'cause
Yeah.
those
do some
are those are
bride reels.
good. Yeah,
We'll see how it
Bride
goes. We'll see how it goes. Bridezilla will just be
Roast.
me with like a
Bride
large
roast.
veil.
Yes,
I'm getting married. Dang.
shoot my
I'm gonna
ass.
get whatever I want. I'm gonna have my cake now.
We're cutting the cake.
Oh, fuck.
Where's
Speaking
my
of cake,
husband? Where's
let's
my
settle this
husband?
debate right now.
Oh,
We're gonna call out our listeners.
Yes. I like
Please
this
talk
segue.
about cakewalks.
Nice
because
segue.
we were talking about this before we hit record, and I've never heard of a cakewalk, and you explained it, and I'm still not sure I really understand what.
I think we need
what
to
goes
draw a
on.
diagram.
I can't believe you've never had
I
a,
grew up
a
with
cakewalk.
Yeah.
What grade did you have your cakewalk?
I believe I was
What, it's
in
like a bar
Naramata
mitzvah?
school.
Like you have a cakewalk?
No,
What is
you,
it?
you start off with them though. Like I think I was in elementary school, at Naramata Elementary, I think it was. So I was in grade 4, I think. I think we did one in Merritt when I was in grade 2.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Is this
think
like
it
a
was
school event?
Yeah, well.
Oh
we
yeah, it's
only
like
had
you know when
them
you have
in elementary
assemblies and
schools.
shit.
We only had them at
Yeah.
elementary schools.
Yeah, it didn't spill over into junior high or anything, but it was all elementary school.
I don't know
So
why
it's
the
like a
hell
once
not.
a year thing, or what?
We need to bring back the cakewalk.
It was like
It's like people say that's a cakewalk.
it's like a little
Right.
fundraiser thing or something like that too. But it was like everybody in your class would bring a cake, and
Oh.
You put it on the table.
yeah,
You can
there's
put
like,
your name beside it if you made it.
It'd
or
be like
whatever.
this table just like covered with cakes, and they all had numbers on it.
Yep.
And then everybody would just stand, like there'd be numbers on the ground in a circle, and then you kick on the music, and
Like, you
everybody
put down a square of paper.
dances around in the circle, and they stop the music, and then
You jump on a piece of paper. It's like a musical
they're like,
chairs. Yeah.
cake number 1. And like if you're standing on the 1, you get to go take your cake.
And then what do you do with it after? Just sit there and
Take
eat
it home,
it?
take it home, and mow it.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, I think, like you were saying, it'd be fun to just get everybody together, do a cakewalk, and then you bring them all out, and everybody just
Oh, which we did.
get a fork.
I actually gave away somebody's cake during our party. By
Somebody
accident.
else's? You kept yours and
I
gave
made a
someone else's
mistake.
away?
So what was nice we had a 90s themed joint birthday party
Oh.
for 7 other people that all have their birthday in April.
7?
7 people. And then
Christ.
we started off with just the birthday people first in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So we went around and everybody that had their birthday in April got a cake no matter what.
Is your birthday in April?
Yeah.
When is it?
24th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Where are we going?
I am going to Mexico.
Oh.
You want to come? No, you can't come.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going to Puerto Vallarta. This is my first time going to Mexico, so I can't.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
I'm super excited. I'm very,
haven't
very
been yet
excited.
either.
Yeah.
And yeah, so 7 people in a circle. We're all dancing around a circle, and we all got cakes.
Yeah.
And there was 8 cakes in total. So I brought everybody else that was at the party that wasn't their birthday.
Yeah.
To compete for that last
The
cake.
last cake. Oh, that would have been fun.
What we weren't going to do, everybody yelled this out at me. I was just going to like draw a number and get over with it.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, it should be like an elimination thing.
Yeah.
So we took out like one number and everybody would just get eliminated until it
Freaking
was the
prison
last
rules where
2.
people beating the shit out
Oh,
of
yeah.
each
I was
other.
like, are we going to put a stick into the middle and be like battle to the death? And it came down to the last 2 people, and we made them dance off. Like in the last possible second, I was like, "Dance off!"
Nice.
So we made them like dance for this cake.
That's
and,
awesome.
It was so much fun.
Cakewalks
And
are freaking cool, man.
then,
And you said it was sort of a fundraiser?
well,
Or might
the
have
nice
been?
thing is at the Eagles Hall, when you pay for the Eagles Hall, that money that you pay for the Eagles Hall goes to charity. It doesn't even go to them.
Oh,
so
I
I think
see.
where they make their money is off of alcohol sales.
Yes.
And we drank a lot of alcohol that
Definitely.
night. And like they made money. Like the bartender like walked away with a good chunk of change too. But it was a blast. Like brought my LED lights or like the color changing lights, and
Yeah.
we had the local dirtbag or the local DJ Sky come in
I
and
love
play music
Sky.
for us. I know I love Sky too. That's why I think it's hilarious. Had him playing music for us, and it was a blast. It was such a good night.
That's a good
But
idea.
the Eagles Hall was
your,
great.
Your wheels are spinning
Absolutely.
right now. I know.
Yeah.
The minute you heard cakewalk and you're like fundraiser.
When I
let's
heard
do it.
fundraiser, I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I
Sarah
need
loves
to
a
know.
good fundraiser. We know a couple of photographers who could shoot that
Oh,
shit
for
you,
sure.
too.
You should see the
For
photos
sure.
that I got. I posted on our private group there.
Oh, did you?
Some of the photos.
Did
I
people
don't know
do
if you
like
could,
cake smashes and stuff?
No, nobody was
You
like
don't want
smashing
to.
the
Don't
cakes or
destroy a
anything like
cake,
that.
yo.
But it was
Oh God, no. Why would you do that?
it was a good time.
Yeah.
It was,
Okay,
it was
so
a blast.
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm from Saskatchewan. Never heard of a cakewalk.
Right.
You guys are both from BC.
Yeah.
Cakewalks are a thing. Oh my God! Look at you guys.
I bet you
looking
could
at
just
a photo
like Google
right
it
now.
and find a good. Oh, and a good theme too. That is so 90s. He's showing us the pictures. That is cool.
I wore my clothes backwards,
Oh, crisscross.
crisscross style.
Nice.
Crisscross will make it.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yes.
There you
No,
go.
that's okay. I just wanted to put it out there and see if I'm alone in not ever hearing about a cakewalk, or if it is
anybody
just a
else?
BC thing or
Yes,
what.
let's start a questionnaire and throw it out to the world and be like,
Yeah.
who has heard or participated in a cakewalk?
I'm gonna put it on my poll on my Instagram story the week that your episode comes out.
Who
Sweet.
would like to participate in one going forward? If we threw a cakewalk party,
I'm in.
because I would be down to do a cakewalk
We should
party.
do a fundraiser for like a restaurant that's down and out right now or
How
some
about-
shit.
Yeah, or just like my honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that
Let's get this community rallied to
what happened to that one
support Jenny's
bakery?
honeymoon.
Did she get shut down by Scott
Fergie?
Fergs? Yeah,
She's moving downtown.
yeah.
So let's do something with her.
Well, didn't she do like crazy cakes?
Fergie, what is she?
does.
She's Fergie the
She's
pirate.
amazing.
That's a pretty good incentive to
You're
get
right.
crazy cakes for cakewalk.
You know what though? Fergie's such a good human. She would probably be like, no, we'll choose a charity. I could see it.
Well, let's talk to Fergie.
Well, I like supporting her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. She's an amazing human.
Let's reach out.
I had my big anniversary party here last year
Oh,
at
nice.
my store.
Yeah.
It was my grand opening, and I asked her to make me a cake for like 50 people. She made me a cake that probably could have fed 3 armies. I'm not even kidding. We had to take a seat out of a van to fit it into.
No way.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was huge.
Nice.
Sweet.
We maybe ate like a 16th of it
Was it like the
at
size
this
of
party.
a
It was.
Subway sandwich, like the party sandwiches?
I don't even. What's something this size?
like a barrel.
Yeah, like a keg.
Yeah,
like
okay.
a wine barrel. That's how big around it was.
Nice. Yeah.
And it was at least like 14, 15,
God.
18 inches high. It was
Holy shit.
massive.
That's
And I went to pick it up and I'm like,
that's a real thick cake.
whip
Okay,
my
well, if
card
the rest
out,
of us
ready
are
to pay.
making cakes and she's making a cake, like mine's gonna look like a piece of shit next to hers.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
it
that's the
is.
whole point.
Well, yeah.
Everyone else's
Everybody-
will look like shit next
yeah,
to hers.
you can't
Yeah,
have.
that, you save
can't
that
have
one to the end
all
though. That's the
awesome
one that
cakes.
everybody fights to the death
Ooh,
for.
There would
Like,
be
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
like a
that's
grand
true.
high
That's the
cake.
mystery cake. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
should be a grand high cake.
We
There
can go
should be a
so
grand
far with
high
this.
Yes.
Let's do it. We can imagine 3 of us as party planners. Fucking do
Oh,
it.
that'd be
Let's do
nuts.
it.
Yeah.
The 3 of us right here, we're doing it.
Oh, let's
Okay.
do it.
Let's do it.
So anyway, I showed up to get this cake and she wouldn't let me pay for it.
What?
She's just
She's
the
a
best human.
beautiful.
I love her.
You know, those are the good people to keep around.
Yeah.
And I really believe
And
in that.
then, not only that, I need to shout out her for this. So my whole grand opening was like a fundraiser. I was doing I had raffle tickets, I had hot dog sales, all kinds of different shit for different charities.
Yep.
So then she shows up. She couldn't make it for the actual event because she's working. Then she showed up at the end when a few of us lifers were just kind of scraggling around, chatting and whatever. And she walks in the door with I think it was like $100 in cash or something, and she said, "This is my staff's tips from the days they wanted to give it to you to donate to a charity." Yeah.
that's
So not
nice.
only did she give me this free like $8,000 cake,
Yeah.
but and showed up with tips. Yeah.
Holy shit.
It might have even been more than that. I don't remember now, but yeah,
She's a
Wild.
beauty.
she's a beauty.
You know, we just added each other on social media. I need to get to know her because we haven't really met in person. I think one time for her birthday, she made me stand on a chair while she sang "Happy Birthday." But,
That's amazing.
but I was like, I need to know this
Nice.
chick. She's
Yeah.
so cool.
She is cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. I wanna do something. I think we'll do something cool.
When she first opened, I asked her, I'm like, "How did you come up with the name Naughty Dog? Like, I don't get it or whatever." And she's
Wasn't
like,
it
"Well,
Nautical Dog?
Well, she's like, "It's Nautical Dog, but the sign in the building says Naughty Dog." And she's like, "When people Google Naughty Dog, they weren't getting good results."
Oh,
I was like,
Yeah. They were getting like all the stripper.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you mean those aren't good results? Those are the best result.
maybe not appropriate results.
best brunch spot.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog.
Where
You're
to
like,
eat out?
Yeah. Oh, mama. Oh,
Yeah. she might even be already in her new
Speaking of
location.
cakewalk.
I think she is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the three of us are doing a cakewalk.
Cool.
While we're talking about cake, you had your own podcast called Earth Pancakes.
That's correct.
Earth
That is
pancakes.
correct.
I wrote down moon waffles, so that's good.
Oh, that's
That
not
also
even
would have been a
close.
good one too. But that's not it. That's not it. No,
waffles.
but yeah, me and Kelsey Lee had a podcast called Earth Pancakes where we just talk to talk.
And there's still some episodes out there in the
I think
wild
there's
somewhere.
there's like 2 or 3 episodes
Is it
left.
on,
I think
like,
we did
MySpace or
15 or something. It's on Apple Podcasts.
Is it?
Would you ever do a podcast again, or you just you might not have enough time for something
I want
like
to.
that?
Like I wanted to keep going with her, but she was just like, "We never write anything down. We never have any structure. I need some structure with you." And I'm like, "Shut up."
We're gonna freestyle this.
I'm like, shut up and keep
That's
talking.
Sarah,
on our
thank God for
podcast.
Sarah, because she sends the structure, and then I'm just like, I just need something to build off of
might
in
like
case I
that.
get stuck.
Earth.
That's our
That's
logo.
a
for the
beautiful
thing, yeah.
logo.
But
Actually,
that's-
it's very creative.
So that's what Kelsey created
see
for
that.
our logo for
Oh,
our
that's
podcast.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
and she's your designer friend, right?
Oh yeah, she's my dad.
Yeah. For anyone who's obviously not viewing this, you should Spotify. Is it Spotify? Or Apple Podcasts?
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Earth Pancakes. It's a great graphic. Good job, Kelsey.
Good job.
Yeah.
And now she's the lead graphic designer for the Whitecaps or some shit like that. I don't know. I hate
What
soccer.
are Whitecaps?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. I say that too to her.
Like,
every
Like, is this a
day.
surfing
Every day.
team? or-
No offense to the Whitecaps.
No, it's the Vancouver Whitecaps. It's their soccer team.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but
That's
I
rad.
could care a shit about soccer.
Yeah.
I just started watching.
They're
I actually
whiny.
power watched Ted Lasso, and I still don't give a shit about soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Don't know
well.
shit about shit.
I used to play roller derby, and those girls are tough.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Oh,
they
God.
fall and I've
The
seen girls
sound it
play on
makes.
broken ankles.
yeah.
When they hit that floor, like the
Yeah.
shiny floor in fishnets, and that sound that it makes, it's
That-
so.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that sound.
then you
That's like, thank God it's not me.
Yep.
And you see a soccer player just get pushed lightly, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is the worst day of my life."
Oh, my neck. Oh, my hips. I'm like, get up.
Yeah.
Get up. When you watch, like, honestly, you showed, like, the ladies' teams playing, and, like, they're vicious on each other. Like, just, I watched one girl get, like, an elbow straight to the eye.
Are you talking about
gushing
soccer or-
blood. Yeah,
Yeah.
soccer. And,
Yeah.
like, gushing blood. Still playing.
Yeah. Well, that
And-
Christine Sinclair, the captain of the Canadian women's team.
Is it the short blonde
No,
hair
she
person?
she had a ponytail and a sweatband like every other
okay.
soccer player.
Person, yeah, soccer player.
But she got a freaking elbow to the nose, busted nose, bleeding everywhere, went off the bench, got her cracked back into place, wrapped, and then went out and fucking scored like a bunch of goals and won
No
the game.
way.
She's just an amazing athlete. Like,
Just in the
I'm not a
zone.
huge fan of soccer, but I did become one a little bit just that day because of her.
Yeah.
Like, just a fucking cool human.
Jenny, you're such a bandwagon jumper.
Yeah.
Really,
Well,
yeah.
soccer, be
You
like,
know,
I watch all this.
I know all the stats. You know,
But yeah, I see like them take a hit that I would even be like, gonna try and fight that person for hitting me like that.
Yeah.
But I've seen them take hits and stand up and like keep playing. And then I watch somebody who's like playing for like a major soccer team
Yeah.
get walked by
Yeah.
and just
Flail.
themselves,
Yeah.
like,
the really
on the
sad
ground
part
and-
is the difference
and
in the
flop
amount of
around like a
money
fish.
that they make too,
Yeah,
right? Like the
right.
women get like significantly less money than the male athletes do, and
Like-
it's crazy what they do.
They're probably going to hurt themselves pretending to be hurt
Yeah.
because they're flailing around so much, so violently. And I
I
was
just
like,
kicked my own ass. I just punched
yeah,
myself in the
yeah.
face.
Like one guy just looked like bacon. He was like hopping like off of the ground because he's
Like, bacon.
convulsing so much. And I was like, you
I'm so
are
using
fine.
that.
Like, you're fine. He hit you in the wrist. Calm down. That doesn't happen. You don't get seizures when you get hit in the wrist or the finger. Anyways, I lost respect to a lot of
It's
soccer
true,
players
it's
seeing like the
true.
diving.
There
to
must
the point
have
I was
been
like, you
like
get paid
a-
how much money? Come
There
on.
must have been a financial incentive for getting hurt or something, because there's just too many of them
I don't know.
for it to not be incentivized.
Yeah, I think you have to pay me to go watch a soccer game
Yeah.
because I don't
Oh,
care.
I do want to
Yeah.
go watch one though, like in England. I think it would be really cool just to be
Yeah,
a
'cause
part of
that's
the
their sport.
crowd,
Yeah.
and I think I would get caught up in that,
Yeah.
and just like in the camaraderie and everybody just like
Yeah.
being part of that. I think
Or
would be
rugby
cool.
even.
Oh yeah, I was
Rugby's
part like in New
wild.
Zealand. I was there for 4 years, and rugby was huge, and I loved every
Those
second
guys
of
are
it.
nuts.
They think
yeah.
we're just
Like
pussies
zero
over here
protective
because we've
equipment.
got all the equipment with the. They're like, if I went over there and I played football, like I would dominate that. I'd go balls to the wall, and they already do without equipment. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
they're
No,
nuts.
rugby's hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like even my high school team, like they would tell me, they're like, oh, they wanted me to play, and they're like, oh yeah, we just want to have at least one person go to the hospital from the other team each game.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to play with you guys.
Yeah.
You, the stunt man?
Oh no, they wanted me to play. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I'm gonna go play basketball and volleyball and shit, and it was like where it's a bit safer, where somebody won't put a cleat in
Somebody
my
won't
eye.
come in your area, like volleyball. Don't come in. Don't step into my zone.
My zone,
Oh,
yeah.
And all my friends that were still playing is like, yeah, they're walking around with like a broken arm or
Yeah.
like a shattered like face, and they're just like, good game, bro. I'm like, why are your eyebrows shaved off? Like,
No,
the
just the
people
one.
you play with are horrible people.
Rugby
Like,
players
these
are a
people
special
that-
fucking brand too, aren't
Oh,
they?
I
Like,
don't-
have you been
I don't
to the
think
rugby?
special is like the word that should be
God.
used for most of those people, but
Fuck. I drank out of a boot one time
they're
at a rugby
insane.
clubhouse in
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand.
Ew.
And I was drinking out of this boot. It was a rubber boot. And you got to do it when you're like a noob, right? So
Oh,
you
yeah.
go in, you drink out of this boot. They just dump
Shoot the
beers in.
boot.
Yeah, I shoot the boot. But then at the end of the boot, they pull out somebody's fucking socks. And you're like,
no, they don't.
they
That's
do
when
the,
they just-
the little bubble. And then it's just like, no, I got this.
have you never thrown up like immediately afterwards and just like return it back?
Yeah,
Oh,
when we would do the
I've done
yard
it.
glass,
Yeah,
and
I've
somebody
done it. I've done
snapped the bottom of the yard glass, the bulb at the bottom,
dick.
and you get that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but it can fit like 8 beers in this one yard glass or something, and then you just skull it back, and then they flick it. Someone flicked the bulb at the bottom, and it just gave me this rush, and it was like everything that was in. It was like Exorcist, just came right back out again.
Oh god.
But you get them back,
There.
right?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Get them.
I did a shot of tequila out of a girl's belly button one time on the street, and
On the street.
On the street.
Was it your bottle or her?
No, it was theirs. So I was walking down Davy Street. I'm going to tell you this fucking story. This is out of the blue right now.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, and this Jeep full of girls like drive by, and they're like, "Woo!" I'm just like, I don't. Who the hell are you guys?
They probably thought you were gay if it was on Davy Street. They
No,
thought you were a
just
safe bet.
Just walking.
Yeah.
And they pull into an alleyway in front of me, and I didn't think any of it. And they're like, hey, come over here. I'm like, what? They're like, can you do a shot out of the bride's belly button?
Oh,
and it was
God.
like a big like wedding party.
Yeah,
And they're like, oh, wait, this is like a part of our like scavenger hunt. We
Yeah.
need somebody to do a shot out of like her belly button. And I was like, okay. And they're like, but you got to do it shirtless.
Oh.
And I'm like, I have to do it shirtless? I'm like, why do I have to take my shirt off? She's the one who like is getting a body shot. I was like, it makes more sense for her to take her shirt off, isn't it?
Let's both take our shirts
And I was
off.
like, yeah, whatever. So I take my shirt off for some reason in this alleyway with all these girls at a Jeep. And then she lays down on the hood, and I grab the thing and like, oh, no hands. So I grab, it was like one of those test tube shots.
Okay, yeah.
And I grab it, and I just went like, whew. I whipped it back, and the tequila just went straight up my nose. And I was just like instantly like ready to yak like all over this girl.
I hate
And I'm just like, and I'm like, they're like, thanks, that was great. I'm like putting my shirt back on now. I feel like violated. And I'm just like walking through Yaletown. I'm like shuddering because of all this like shit tequila that's stuck in my nasal cavity and like trickling down my throat. I'm like going to my friend's house because we're gonna go drinking or something that night, and I'm walking through the railway park, you know, where there's like the playground that has like a little fountain and stuff like that. And I'm walking through there, and I'm like trying to hawk out all this like tequila, and I was like, and then just as I was walking, I was like, I'm gonna throw up. But I'm in the middle of the park with like kids everywhere.
Oh no.
And I'm just like walking to the side and just like, threw up like 3 times in this park as nonchalantly as I could.
Just let it trickle.
And I'm just like, and I get to my buddy's house and I'm like, I need a drink because you'll not believe what just happened to me. And Yeah.
That is
Cure it
awesome.
with another
Can you
drink.
imagine though if a group full of guys pulled up on a chick and got her to do that? Like,
No,
you,
wait,
that's
yeah,
not
take
even.
your shirt off and
yeah,
do a shot out of my belly button. No, they get arrested.
exactly.
Yeah, like why
You
am
were
I
so taken advantage of,
I
you
was.
poor man.
I was objectified and I loved it.
God, tequila up the nose though. Whew.
Yeah,
No,
nasty.
it was I was blown away because I was dead sober and yakking hard in
And
the middle of a
children's
public park.
That's
And this
so
was like
funny.
this was maybe like 2:00.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was the sun out?
Yeah, sun was
Oh,
up. Sun
even
was up.
worse.
Kids were playing.
I could just.
Hobos were in the park, and
I wish people could see
yakking.
you tell this story because
Yeah.
the way you kind of put your chin over your shoulder when
Oh, I
you
didn't
yak.
throw up
it's
on
just-
myself, but I wanted to keep my motion.
Yeah,
To not, like,
that's how my
not
cat
just,
pukes
like,
too. It just
stop
like
and
runs
just be
away.
I'm just like, like barfing over
Because
myself.
that's less chalant, right?
Yeah, well, I thought I could just keep like normal,
Yeah.
but I didn't barf on myself.
This
which
is
I
just
was
what I
very
do
happy about.
normally.
So I was very happy.
Yeah.
I just walk around like
Over the shoulder, blah.
I didn't yak on myself, so I was very happy with that.
yeah,
Probably
but
some of the
obviously you were gonna go
moms.
out that night, so like you didn't want to ruin a
Well,
good
yeah,
shirt,
I was
right?
wearing a nice shirt. I was
Yeah.
wearing like my nice blue like shirt. That's what got me all this attention.
Well, and the
Your
fact they're
nice
walking down
blue
Davy,
shirt.
Yeah.
they probably thought that you were gay.
Yeah,
But chances are,
just walking a route.
I fucking love Davy Street.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a good time.
Great story.
Thank you.
Great
thank you.
story.
Yeah.
Just off of that, who inspires you?
God.
Could be a photographer or not, or
No,
videographer.
there's actually,
but like,
well, there's one photographer that pisses me off, but then also still inspires me a lot. I think I'm actually, I'm wearing a shirt.
please
with,
don't tell me it's me.
Kirill. No, Kirill was here. He's a Russian, like he's an old party photographer who did like the same thing I did, but like in New York and stuff like that, and really got big, like doing some party photos, and then
Just like in clubs and stuff.
just in clubs,
Yeah.
and got like all these celebrities and like got great photos, and that's kind of how he blew up from there. But he started doing all of the stuff for himself and started this clothing company just for himself, and now it's all that he does.
Yeah.
But
Oh, really?
I don't know
mean,
if you noticed like some of the clothes that I wear too. That's like the assholes live forever stuff. But
Was it
that's all his company.
non-social butterfly? Is that one
Yeah,
of them?
antisocial butterfly stuff.
Yeah.
He made all those shirts, and
Yeah.
it's just funny because like he makes stuff that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And I treasure that
Yeah.
these days.
That's cool.
And it's pretty much like the only clothes that I buy now.
Yeah.
And like he has socks that have palm trees on fire. Like I love palm trees, and
Yeah.
like he made socks that have like a palm tree on fire on them. Like I got to get those.
Yeah.
And then
Have you met
funny
him?
shirts. I would love to. I have met a girl that won one of his contests where they were giving away boob jobs to girls.
He was giving
That's a
away boob
weird
Yeah, he was giving
contest.
away boob jobs to girls, and there's actually a girl in Kelowna that won the boob job, and she was flown down to Florida and got this boob job. And I actually
Wow.
have done photo shoots with her because I was like, "You live in Kelowna?" And I was like, "Can I do an interview with you or like
Yeah.
a photo shoot?"
Who is
Because
she?
I'll send you her account.
Can you show
I
me?
gotta see what her like, actual account is, so I don't like
Is she a
quote her by accident.
model or something?
Yeah.
Because I know a Kelowna model. Well, I don't know her, but I follow her, and I followed her story for quite a
Can
while.
I get a look at that real quick for research purposes only? Can I see your
For scientific reasons.
your portfolio of her as well? Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's gorgeous. We had so much fun. It was awesome.
Did she just have a baby?
I think she's got like a 7-year-old or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So not like
Not the
a
same
recent
kid,
kid, no.
Cool.
But
Wow.
I'll try and like
Giving
pull it
away
up real
boob
quick.
jobs. How long ago was that?
Didn't
That was
you and
like-
I just decide to do something like a promo and give away like a metal picture?
Yeah,
Next step is boob jobs.
I guess.
Want to go halfers?
Okay. Yeah.
You buy one
go.
tit, I'll buy the other.
Nope. Not happening.
Oh, look at that.
But yeah, it was super rad. And she won this contest, and I found out that she lived here, and was like, "Man, let's meet up. Like, I want to hear about this and like talk
Yeah.
about them and stuff like that." So it was just cool.
Right on.
Yeah,
Sweet.
but he inspires me. He actually just kind of really pulled like a stupid stunt recently before April Fool's Day. He's always done like wacky April Fool's Day jokes, but he actually told everybody that he went in for a colonoscopy a week and a half before April Fool's Day, and then they tried to play it off like he died, and like really convinced everybody that he did actually die from a
what a
colonoscopy.
dick.
And then of course he comes back on April 1st, and I was like, I guarantee you this is a April Fool's Day joke, but everybody was being very convincing. All
Yeah.
of his like friend circles were being very convincing about it.
Wow.
And they sold off all of his shit. And then on April 4th, all of that money raised from that week and a half towards, was it like colonoscopy, some
good.
charity for colonoscopy and like survivors
Amazing.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And 110 grand that he
Wow.
raised, that he sold in that like week and a half.
Cool.
So I was like, you're a dick,
Yeah.
but
Good.
I'm glad you're still alive.
That's really cool.
And yeah, the guy is just doing a lot that he really inspires me. Like the way he's outrageous. Like he definitely speaks his mind, and he's his own person, and he does what he wants.
Right.
And yeah, and I really admire that and think it's pretty awesome what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never met the guy. I would love to meet him.
So as just because of like who he is and this stuff that like just what he puts out, but like as for work wise and people's just creative style,
Yeah.
is there somebody that you look up to or that you admire their work, or is he also his work as well?
Say, Jenny.
No, fuck.
Jenny Popoff is my shining light. He's my savior. Is my photo inspiration.
I'm fangirling right now.
Comedic genius. Style entrepreneur.
Moving on. We know how we do with compliments. Let's get at this one.
But you know, it's let's see who else is like a lot of style. There's a lot of people that I've worked with even in the past who I've seen grow incredibly, even just in like a short amount of time. And I think it's because like I was their manager even back then, and now I see how everybody has moved from being almost like a team identity to now a personal identity, and see how they've grown their own individual styles
Right.
has been incredible.
Okay.
And it might be biased to say, but like the people that I used to work with and seeing what they do now is amazing. And that's like Olivia Van Dyke and Elena, like who's doing the Good Time Studio now, I believe. And she actually just had her father pass away randomly very recently. So my heart goes out to Elena right now, and sending you love, Elena, if you do ever listen to this. And like even John Spooner and like Warren and
These are
Cristobal. Like,
People that you've worked with.
yeah. Oh, yeah. These are people that are a part of the old social team. These were my the photographers and videographers that we all work together. Like they're all doing their own things now, and we're all working for ourselves.
Cool. Yeah.
And like I love seeing their shit, what they're doing right now, and it's like it's humbling, but then it's also like terrifying. Like, am I also evolving as much as them? And like, I need to think about like what I'm doing. And like, then it's like, I start questioning myself. And then it's like being a part of like the team with these guys and seeing how incredible their work is now. And then I'm like, man, I'm like, am I not doing enough? I should do more. Like, what am I doing right now? Like,
Yeah.
I should be doing something else. And
Like
then it's
social media.
But now that's like the social media prowess of like me internalizing and questioning myself when I'm being inspired by other things. And I need to like pull that back because I am enjoying what I'm doing and I am proud of what I'm
Yeah.
doing. It's like I don't show as much as I should.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that my friends that I still like talk with all like from time to time, but that I see like the stuff that they do,
Yeah.
and it's like it's jaw dropping.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
it's
cool.
inspiring because it's like, oh man, like we've done so much together, and it's like now look at what you're doing. Like it's crazy.
It must be, if they do ever listen to this, I think they would probably be super stoked to just hear you say that.
Oh yeah,
know.
they.
I think they'd be really stoked to hear that.
I agree.
It was awesome working with them.
Yeah. Cool. You guys should all get together and do a project.
Oh my god, I would love to see all of them next time I'm in
Are
town.
they all down in the lower? Yeah, they're down there.
Yeah, I don't even know where Cristobal is. He's been traveling like all over the place. I think Olivia's in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
Punk. And yeah.
Okay, I'm going to Mexico for like a week.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all doing like such incredible stuff that I'm like super proud to have been working with them.
Yeah.
And it's just inspiring to see them just be awesome.
Yeah.
And they all are.
That's cool.
So it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's cool of you to say that.
Yeah, it
Thanks.
is. We
Yeah.
talk about that so many times on this podcast too, just about like when you're working in the same industry as somebody and how things have changed so much now, and that you support each other and you just root for each other instead of it being one big competition. It's you're rooting for each other and you're
Yeah.
trying to support each other and
Even
stuff.
if you're not friends, like
Yeah.
this, I think that what you're getting at is like that friendly competition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like even some of them, like I don't talk to them anymore. And like we had like a falling out, but it doesn't matter that I still don't highly value and like treasure the time that we did have.
Or respect their work too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like just because you guys had a falling out doesn't mean they're a shitty
No.
artist.
Yeah. But it was just really unfortunate that the company that we were working for, like it all fell apart.
Right.
And that was like greed, a lot of like money like wasn't going to where it should have gone.
Right.
And the media team that I was managing was severely underrated. And yeah, it just fell apart.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Yeah.
whatever.
You
It
guys
happened.
you guys need a reunion. You guys need to
Oh man,
get together.
I would love that. That'd be crazy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Can I ask you a question just something that I want to know just as a photographer? What do you do when you're working with models or clients, and what do you do to make them feel comfortable on the other side of the camera? Like, how do you make them
This is
feel
going to be an
comfortable?
interesting conversation because you have a male point of view. Jenny has a female point of view.
I do a lot of self-deprecation. Like, I'll make fun of myself and just to get them more comfortable. Or the situation or whatever. I'll never make fun of them or say anything negative to them, but about myself or whatever or something. What do you do to make people feel comfortable?
I just act like myself.
Yeah.
I don't try
You're
to
pretty easy to get along
sugarcoat
with, yeah.
anything. Yeah. I believe in the golden rule. And that's
yeah.
treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And I was
empathy
taught that.
and stuff. That's a hard one to teach. Empathy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
And
think
I
there's
think-
a lot of that in this.
I think a lot of people should learn that shit
Yeah.
because there's some shitty people out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they literally don't even know that they're shitty, but it's like, I won't associate myself with you if I feel like you are like a nagging kind of person or you're full of like hate or you're full of just always negative comments towards other people. Like,
I hate people who can only find a problem for every solution. I can't stand that.
well, man, it's like good people are very hard to find. And I treasure them when I find them.
Yeah.
And when I'm shooting with somebody, I want them to feel like they're just one of my people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm never going to insult them or I don't ever want to objectify anybody. And
Yeah.
I just want to create and I want to make something fun and happy.
Yeah.
And the second that I don't do that, I think even me being as like a male presence will kill everything that I've done.
Right. Yeah. It's
And I
hard
don't-
to.
I
It's got to
don't
be
wanna
hard
do
to be a
that.
male photographer if you're shooting in a boudoir.
Oh my
world.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point that people will bring like their friends because I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, bring all your friends. I'm like, if they want to get in a shot too,
Yeah.
like let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting being a male shooting women and I don't know, what do you say, like the visuals of it is like everybody's like afterwards, it's like, oh man, like did you get with her or something like
Yeah,
that afterwards?
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like, no.
Yeah.
Like
That's not what I was there for.
I was like,
Yeah.
man, like, and like that's a friend, and like they have a boyfriend or a husband or a girlfriend or something like that, and it's like, I would not do that.
No.
So it's
trying to make people just feel comfortable.
Do you become numb to it after a while?
Yeah, like to tell the truth, I
Even
don't really
you?
think
Well,
about it.
I 100% do. I don't like, I've had people who are like, you're going to see my flaws, you're going to see this, you're going to see that. And I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for at all. I'm looking at my composition, I'm looking at my lighting, I'm making sure that everything is on point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you've even had a nip slip. I didn't even notice it during that shot. I probably barely noticed it during editing. And if I did, I would have just skimmed past it and went to the one where there was no nip slip. Like, I'm literally not looking at that shit at all.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking at it from an artistic point of view and a
Right,
business
right.
thing, right?
Yeah, like
Like, eventually body's just a body.
as far as like desensitization,
Yes, that's what I was just. That's
yeah,
what I
like I go on like a stripper houseboat. And we go out and shoot for 3 days, and there are like I'm just around.
You need a second
it's
shooter ever,
crazy.
you know, if you need to be.
Trust me,
know.
it'll happen. It'll happen. But it's like, yes, I'm with all these like exotic dancers, but to be honest, they're probably some of the most interesting, intelligent, kind,
Yep.
supportive people I've ever met. And just being around them and seeing like their business prowess is, I've learned a lot.
It's inspiring.
Just being around them. And then I'm like, they give me the trust to shoot them. I would never
Don't
do
ever.
anything to spoil that.
Yeah.
And like, I love these people. Like I've met them through so many different walks of life now that it's crazy to think that I'm so comfortable around these people. If this was like 18-year-old me, I wouldn't be able to handle this.
Yeah.
No way. But
Yeah.
now that like now that I'm like much more mature and
You're in a relationship.
I'm really in a relationship right now, but even before, like I wasn't in a relationship. It was just like to have somebody's trust is so much more valuable to me.
You think getting laid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, these are wonderful people. And I really treasure their view and their personal boundary that I would never ever want to jeopardize that for them.
That's cool.
And it's insulting too when I hear people put that on them too and be like, oh man, just hanging out with stripper and be like, getting like a blowjob or something like that. I'm like, what, motherfucker? Like, don't talk like that about those people. Like, you have no idea who they are or what they're like in their
for
personal
you.
lives. You see their work persona, but you have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, sure, this is their livelihood and like they make good money doing it, but at the same time, like they go home to like their loved ones and they're just like you and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's a business thing too, right? Like business is going to lead to more business. So,
Yeah.
and that's the trust thing and communication. And the more that you have that trust, it's going to lead to more relationships and stuff, right? Like business wise or friendship wise, even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As Esmeralda and Remy Lee Blossom, like they're such amazing people that I love that they trust with me to like shoot with them.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful souls.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether they're strippers or not,
Yeah.
anybody in general, when you know that you've got that trust and then you just see that once they know they can trust you, you literally just see that weight lift off their shoulders as well. And then they just start to open up and you get some really cool shots then because you can just see that transformation and it can happen within seconds. It's so cool. All it takes is just showing maybe a cool banger shot on the back of your camera and they're like, I can trust this person. And you're not being a total perv, just going for crotch shots the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
When they know they can trust you, that's when you get some really cool shots too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I've had some, just like crazy shoots that we've done that are just like super intense.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I never want to get rid of that. Never want to lose that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not worth putting that into jeopardy.
No, not at all.
Oh, that's really cool. I love that.
But
see, that's again why
I
this
don't know.
guy. I just fucking every time I want to, like every time we talk, I'm like zeroed in. I'm like, I gotta be him one day.
You can see it when you're listening.
Yeah, yeah,
Myself as well as a creative, like just soaking up wisdom and
yeah. Well, that's what this podcast is about too,
Yeah.
right? Doing different business, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's important to have fun.
Yes,
And that's one thing I've learned is like,
that's the best part about working for yourself too, right?
I just gotta-
like. Would
you
you
just
ever
gotta
work
be
for
happy.
somebody else again?
hell no.
No.
Hell no.
I think we talked about that at
No,
Cameron one time.
I don't. I don't want to work for somebody that's not going to value myself as much as I value myself. You know, it's hard to rely on somebody else anymore, because even when I started working for my old company that I did in Yaletown, the one guy that believed in me more than anybody else, who was our sales guy at the time, didn't know me at all. He just loved what I was doing and what we were doing and believed in it.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid like a very kind of a low wage at that time.
Right.
And like it was hard. I was working my other job at the time too, but I was like, it's like, I don't know if I'll be able to like do this at this time. And then I just like said, okay, let's screw it. He got me paid a little bit more money, and just like trusted everything, and was giving me like all these little side jobs, and was like always like super involved and wanted me to be involved and being like super positive. And then he ended up 6 months after we were into working together, we were moving into our first office in Gastown. And we just moved all of our shitty furniture into a terrible, like gross office.
Yeah.
In some like crappy Gastown place above Alexander. I don't know if you ever remember that bar Alexander in Gastown, but him and his friends built the Alexander to be like a pretty nice little club that was like more of a music venue. But he ended up having a massive heart attack and passed away at Quarry Rock on a hike with his technical bride. They were married in I can't remember where they were getting married now with Melissa, but they got married in another country that didn't recognize their marriage, and they were getting like in shape for their marriage that summer.
Okay.
And they were like doing a run up at Quarry Rock, and Mike ended up having a massive heart attack and passed away in
my gosh.
Melissa's arms
Holy
there. And that was fucking devastating.
Yeah.
Because it was like going into creative time with a guy that supported me more than anybody else has.
Man,
and then he just all of a sudden passed away, and it was devastating. It was devastating. So, I really love Mike Nias.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really miss that guy.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he's the, I actually got a tattoo on my leg because he always said, "Hey, buds," to everybody. It didn't matter what meeting we went into.
Yeah.
It was like Safeway, like, or like an overweighting meeting. We were meeting like all the big wigs, and he'd be like, "Hey, buds."
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
What's going on, buds?
You're saying "Hey, buds" to everybody. I was like, this is hilarious.
Hey, you hoser.
So that's why I have "Hey, buds" on the side of my leg.
Oh, that's
Love
Tattooed
cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was very cool.
He played a huge part in just your growth and stuff then, hey? Would you
Oh
say?
yeah. In like a big turning point in my life, he played a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And I love that guy.
That's fucking crazy.
He's definitely one of the most Mikey is definitely one of the most inspirational people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's awesome though that you had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
even at his funeral, we filled up the Sutton place, like their meeting room, to the point that there were people down the stairs and filled up like the parking lot. The guy was like a rock star.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like it.
it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was devastated. I think I cried for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding. Shit. Well, cheers to Mikey.
Yeah.
Hey, buds.
Miss Mike.
Hey, buds.
Hey, buds.
Hey, buds.
Hey, buds.
Yep.
That's right.
That's a good way to end this, I think.
Yeah.
But before we do you have any book recommendations, or do you want to just do film
Yeah, well, I
recommendations?
actually, I'm going to go off on
Book and
film recommendations, but I actually just got recommended this book that recently, because it's actually helped me a lot, but it says, you can be happy no matter what. And it was great.
Yeah.
I think Tracy recommended that book too, and said a lot of really great things about it.
Did she?
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna
so.
have to download it.
Maybe not. I could be thinking of something else, but you can be happy no matter what. And what's it about?
It's about like thought process and kind of keeping your thoughts grounded and not letting my thoughts get away from me. And that's like whether I'm like doubting myself with work, or doubting like a relationship or a family member, or getting carried away with
Yes.
like fake reality of like everything that we kind of I submerge myself in every day. And I already have like an overly active imagination as it is. So this book was trying to help you control your thought process in an easier way. So it's
Right.
kind of laid out to be
Yep. So you don't spiral off into
Yeah.
what ifs.
Yeah,
more
and
than
it's just an audiobook too, but it was actually Aiden in town, Aiden Mays, that recommended me this
I
book.
love
So it was nice that she recommended that one for me.
Yeah.
And she was right. It actually really has helped with me and what I kind of deal with on a day-to-day now,
Interesting.
whether it's work or personal or
Yeah.
just life.
I'm totally downloading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through
No, it's,
Amazon?
it's a really good one. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
on
I'll
Amazon.
put it-
It's on audio as
I
well.
got it on-
Audible.
Don't buy it yet.
Audio-
Click on my link
Audible.
to buy
I'll
it.
do
so
it
I
on
get a
your link,
kickback.
yeah.
Audible.
Do you know which one I just downloaded? It's called the ADHD Effect on Marriage.
Oh,
So right along those lines of just like staying on track and just seeing. When I read it or the synopsis, I was like, "Holy shit! Holy shit! this is gonna help."
God.
Right?
That
We're in our
sounds- that sounds
30s,
kinda heavy.
40s. Let's talk about self-help books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're going to get there eventually.
yeah. Maybe on my next one.
This is my first self-help book, and I was like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah?
let's just dive into this and
Yeah.
see what happens.
I mean, it's easy to do when you're.
good.
That's why I like audiobooks so much, and that's why I asked if we could do audiobooks through this because
I think I can.
when we're sitting there editing, you can end up in a rabbit hole for hours, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
having something to listen to is just it's nice. Plus, I like to go for drives and scout locations, and I'll just put on audiobooks and just listen to that.
Well, even as like I live in Summerland, so it was like I just cruised through Summerland, and it's like a 15-minute drive, and
Yeah.
was like there and back. I'm like listened to a half hour of the book already. It's not a long audiobook. I think it was only like 2.5 hours or something like that. So it's pretty easy to go
Okay.
through.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's laid out very well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that it was like it's a
Cool.
good way to
I'm gonna
watch.
check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to
think-
check it out
do
when
it.
Tracy mentioned it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
it's a sign. It's another person recommending
it's the
it.
universe.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the
a
universe.
nice way to just like talk to yourself about how like you're thinking and where like your thought process goes, and
Yeah.
like how to reel it back if it gets too much, which was good.
That is
because,
very important.
Yeah, it's been very heavy for me lately, and I think
Really?
I just have dealt with like a lot of death
Yeah,
in the last
Fuck
three and a
death.
half, like 4 years now, and
You're done with it.
oh fuck, I was done with death
Yeah.
my whole life. I hate death, but
go
it's a
hang
part
out
of
with
like the
Kevin
way it
Smith
is.
for a while because after even
heart
like a
attack?
couple weeks of talking to Kevin Smith, you kind of become desensitized to death a little bit, and
He's got some good coping.
it
and
yeah he
Oh, yeah.
does.
he
yeah.
he
I've
has a
met
good
Kevin
sense
Smith.
of humor.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah,
He's
on
awesome.
the set of Supergirl, they had an open set one day, and we went
Like
and
Kevin
crashed the
Smith
set.
from town here.
Oh no, I'm talking
Oh.
about like Silent Bob.
You're talking about the real,
Oh,
like
the
the,
real
famous
I'm talking about, like,
Kevin
Kevin
Smith.
I was like,
Oh.
you Kevin Smith too.
Oh,
Kevin Smith,
gotcha.
The other Kevin
Yeah,
Smith.
no, I'm talking about like Silent Bob.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, he was cool. He was super nice.
We're talking
He
about.
complimented me on my beard.
Oh
Sorry,
God, I
didn't know there
bet.
was
Hey.
another Kevin Smith in town.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was only
Kettle
one.
Valley Memorial, Kevin Smith. We talk about him a lot. So he owns the funeral home. That's why you would find,
Gotcha.
you would
Yeah.
find
Gotcha.
a good sense of humor and a different take on death. And
Cool.
He makes it
cool.
He makes it cool. He
Cool,
makes
cool,
death
cool. He does.
Cool beans.
does,
Cool
yeah.
beans.
In some weird way, he makes it fun.
Yeah, I hear you.
He
yeah.
does, yeah.
Well, it was just like, with like Mike, my dad, my grandfather, and then we had to put down like our family dog.
Oh,
It was
God.
all like consecutively within like almost 6 months of each other.
Every
It
single
was
one,
just
you're like, are you kidding me again?
oh
what
man,
are we doing now?
it was when it hits the fan, it really
Yeah.
hits the fan.
It hit it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of bring the old DE card into there.
Oh,
But
it's
yeah,
all good. It's been
it's,
talked about lots on this
yeah.
podcast for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I think
can't.
it's fine to talk about it.
Yeah, I can't.
Have you heard
I
of
can't
Death
dance
Cafe?
around it. No.
Death Cafe is a KVM. KVM kind of not sponsors it because it's free, but they're like the host, I guess, of it. And it's a group of anybody who wants to show up just shows up. It's a once a month event, and they just talk about death, and they kind of normalize it. And there was a kind young lady from Penticton Indian Band, I think, a couple death cafes ago, who came in and just talked about their traditions surrounding death, and like
Cool.
it's just a lot of really cool perspectives. I really love the Death Cafe, and
Yeah.
it does kind of make you not maybe desensitizes isn't the right word, but just normalizes it a little bit more, and
Just makes it a little bit easier to know too.
and there's death doulas are the ones who kind of
God.
are the ones present and
okay,
speak
yeah,
and bring up topics and stuff. They're really cool ladies, and there's not only ladies there's men too, but yeah.
Well, that's like I've always been I've never shown my emotions or anything like that, but I think that was like from Prince George too. As just,
Yes.
hard as fuck.
it's super fucking hard as fuck. You can't like show somebody like how you feel. You're gonna get punched for that.
Right.
And I've always just been so thick-skinned and hard-shelled that, it's hard to be opening up. And for some reason, I've been opening up a lot
That's good.
lately, and it's
growth.
been.
Come to Death Cafe.
Is it like in town?
It's not a grief session.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not like a place where you come and be like, "Oh, my mom died." It's it's like sometimes they talk about ghost stories and like just death-related topics.
I'd
Last
like
time
to
we
go.
talked
Actually,
about
I'd go with you.
Have you been to this? Huh?
last time we talked about cool ways to be cremated, like water cremations, and like I said, I wanted to
the
be
hell
made
is
into
water
a diamond.
cremation?
Yeah, right. Look it up.
Sounds messy.
It's fun.
You can
It's
be
a
made
fun
into
event.
a diamond.
Yeah, you can turn your ashes into a diamond.
I can think of all things I'd like to be made into.
Yeah.
A butt
Sex
plug.
toys. Yeah, I was going. You said butt plug. I
Okay.
just was something else.
Knew it right off the bat. Right
It's
off
the
the bat.
gift that
I know
keeps
I wanna
on
be
giving.
made of.
Lucy, you can't get rid of me no matter how hard you try.
That'd be so awful.
Anyway, that's a good one.
Okay.
You know, that was it.
Hey-o.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Wrap it up. and put a bow on it.
Jenny, as usual, thanks for being here with me.
Thanks, man. Yep, good times. I was stoked for this one, so I'm glad we got to.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to be your co-host on this one.
Well, I'm always glad to have you. And Nathan, thank you so much for being here. You're a great human being. I'm happy to have finally spent some time. I think we've only met once before this, but I'm so happy to
is
have
a
gotten
great
to know
second
you.
meet.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's awesome. It's lovely meeting you, Sarah, and it's
Yeah.
awesome to hang out with you again.
Yeah,
Jen.
fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Cheers
no,
to
I'm
that.
really happy that you guys invited me to this.
Yeah.
I was super stoked
Let's get that Earth Pancakes back on
God.
there,
Yeah,
and
we gotta call
we'll
out
come
Kelsey.
we'll come on yours.
calling you out, Kelsey. It's time for us to get back on the mic.
Yeah,
Punk-
do
punk
it.
bitch.
I got a
Let's go.
space
I
for
know a good
rent.
space.
Yeah. She's down in Vancouver hanging out with all those
yeah.
soccer players.
Oh,
Wah, wah.
Get a
yeah.
life.
Snow caps. What was it?
Yeah.
Ice caps? No.
Ice caps.
White,
Yeah.
White
caps?
Yeah. Diving caps.
Ice caps. I'm
Diving
like Tim
caps.
Hortons.
I like that. Yeah, the swim caps.
Swim cap.
Go diving, boys. We'll be watching. I
poor
won't be watching.
Kelsey.
I won't be watching. She knows that.
I don't know you, Kelsey, but I love you.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet you.
We'll drive her
right.
up here one time.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
All right, stay hip.